As it says we're live now, and
Everything refreshing.
we're gonna jump over to the studio, and it looks like Epidemic Sounds is being hilarious. That's pretty cool. You gotta love that.
There we go.
Okay, hello. We are live with another session of Dark Heresy, and Epidemic Sounds. As soon as you're ready, go ahead. Thank you. Oh, Epidemic Sounds. So, last time we were in the past, you guys were on an elevator shaft. You were on one of the great lifts, one of the 4 quarters of the great lift. You had descended. Things were silly pants. Tell me what's happened to get you here. How did you guys get here from your past selves' perspectives?
Just a point of clarification for me before we get the rundown. The sergeant that was run over by Effie, was that the same sergeant that got coffee spilled on her?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool. Not having the best day then.
No.
So we stormed floor 1.
You did? Yeah. What happened before that?
Before storming floor 1? Golly, let's reel it far back. There's riots on floor 3 because everybody is looking for their family members after floor 4's flooding. Ugh, God. And of course, the PDF agents didn't check, much to Cece's chagrin. So, functionally, there was a big old flood that happened on floor 4. As a result, there have been some bodies moving up the floors as a sort of reclamation or reorganization effort before the big shebang of harvesting everything. So that's sorted. Everybody's doing what they can to be reorganized and ready for all of the growing and cultivating, and we've got people coming in to get all of their product, their kelp, if you will, their grease.
Yep. That's right. They got to get to lube.
Agriculture. And functionally, we have our teams previously separate who were meeting up to give reports to the captain regarding not only the progress in getting people ready for the kelp harvesting, but also progress towards... This is not dive team. This is dive team?
No, there was a dive team. There have been a couple dive teams that were organized and sent out. They have not returned. And why don't you tell us, Sarah? What do you know about that?
So the team that Nyla was on with Gallus and Zuri, we had been sent down originally before it flooded to assist because the commander down there needed help. And when we arrived down there, she was like, I don't know, tech priests, go do something because there's horrible grinding noises. But before we got there, the ports opened and everything flooded and the locks engaged, so floor 3 didn't flood. And it turned out that we saved a whole bunch of people and were a huge part of the rescue effort to getting people to floor 3 and out of floor 4. So we've actually, for the last week, been on the press circuit where everyone asks us questions about how terrible it was and about how brave we are. And we talk about how awesome everyone's response is and how many people we saved, and everyone should really just get ready to harvest stuff because isn't it great being alive? And that's what we've been doing until we were reorganized to go down with the other team to see what's happening on floor 4 because there's more shaking, but we can feel it all the way up on the top floor this time.
Well, and in theory, they could have felt it on the top floor, but you didn't have any people on the top floor before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can, now that we're on the top floor, we can feel how bad it is, and it's starting again. So they've sent us down to kind of like see what's going on, to see if we can do anything about it. And currently we're stuck in an elevator.
Yeah. And you guys have been sent to task, specifically Pilar. What were you sent to do?
Looking through my notes. Okay. Got a hole in my notes. I don't remember.
Oh, that's all right. So you guys were sent down, and specifically, you were seen as maybe not the most responsible, but certainly the most capable of keeping record for the group.
Oh, right. Yes, I'm right. That's right.
Mhm.
Ironic that I didn't write that down.
It is kind of funny. It is kind of funny. So we're gonna jump over to a little bit tighter angle because I'm gonna need to move some things. Let's see. But we're gonna jump in. Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up or add or kind of bring to the fore on any of that?
We can go up or down.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in an elevator.
We gotta
Oh
that
yeah,
was
that's right.
listing terribly.
CC kind of fixed it.
Yeah, there was
It was
a
having
kind of a
some
mess.
problems.
There was an
Right
emergency
now, we're
break.
crammed in a hole, getting real wet, and there are people coming towards us.
Yeah, they want to go back up, but I don't know how many we could take on the elevator.
I don't think it's still working.
It's not.
Yeah, we got it to
really.
stop. I don't think we got it to go
Yeah.
back up if we wanted it to. It's
We
just kinda, we got it to
crashed.
stop.
Kinda, yeah. And there was an
And
emergency
there's like a
break
vortex.
that was used, and there's a kind of a whirlpool. It's a horrible because it goes down. Remember,
Yeah, it's
the
not
purpose of
good.
your hive city was.
Oh, I remember. So we radioed the captain, Eric,
Mhm.
and we were talking about how there were survivors down here, but the only way down or up is the lifts unless we can get the ports back open.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's not great. It's not great.
But we
You
don't
guys
know
just
how
gotta
to
start.
do that.
The
You're
ports
not even
appeared
sure.
to be opening, but didn't they? They appeared to be opening, but it was take like a week or something, or
Well,
like
they're
4 days.
closing.
Or something?
but it's gonna
They're
take 4 days.
closing.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're closing,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Right.
and that means that the water is not constantly pouring in, which means that it would take a long time, but the water would actually drain out from underneath you, and the servo skulls that were issued to do some basic reconnaissance printed out a kind of an estimate that this is something you would see kind of fully settle down in about a week.
That's right. Yeah, so it's going to take it about a week to do most of the draining. But in order to get people down there, to save people, we need to get the ports open so the evac units can get in.
Yes,
Right.
that's right.
Also, Effie has a tank.
That's true. Effie does have a tank. It's
That's
kind of like a
that's
Bradley
right.
assault vehicle with, up armor. Kind of nice. That's you can think of it. It's nice. It's nice. It'll squish some things. But right now, let's do a perception check from everybody. Y'all have your grates closed. There are emergency doors that are still in their sleeves, more or less, that can come forward and seal you off.
14.
14, hell yeah. Keep going. Let's go.
52.
52.
22.
Ah,
good.
That is a 20. That is a 20. I have heightened senses sight, though.
Okay. So that's going to
89.
be probably like, what do you think, 15? Is that what that is?
What is it? Does give me
It's-
a 5, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then what was yours, Pilar?
89.
Okay, yeah, you kind of like hit your head. You're like, ow! And so you just kind of...
I've got my nose buried in the notebook, and I look up and immediately hit my head and stop looking at things.
Dua got an 85, so we probably bonked heads together.
That's probably what happened, actually. You guys
There you go. Yeah.
collided just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's
Came
all
up
right.
too fast.
What you reading? Ow.
I'm not reading. I'm writing.
Mm. One of
We're at
those,
That's fancy.
the other W word.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Gotta read.
Warmongering?
Yeah, a little
War
bit. Okay.
crimes?
So, okay, those who rolled well enough that you weren't colliding heads, you're seeing that as your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness, again, there was light pouring in, and it's starting to fade as those kind of ports close on the sides of the hive. It's distant, but the ambient lighting was enough that you can see silhouettes now, and you're noticing the difference, and your eyes are adjusting. You're starting to see that there are kind of eddies being built up, where water isn't draining as fast as other areas because there are buildings that maybe haven't come down, but it's something that you're seeing flooding and draining, and it's taking a while to come out of more areas than others. There are, of course, bodies. You're seeing large, like 100 meters long stalks of kelp that have been uprooted from somewhere else on the planet and been doing stuff in ice for a long time that are being drugged through, and it's acting like a net. It's catching debris, it's catching body, it's catching ice, it's causing the narrow streets of the hive city on floor 4 to act as dams. And a lot of this very fibrous kelp with its large, swollen, oily bulbs just floating it and keeping it right on the top, not letting anything through. It's making kind of swimming pools and lakes, more or less, within the city. You see that there are some people who are being a little more proactive. They're trying to get a hold of some of the debris that's rushing toward you guys. They're thinking this is the way out. You're the rescue that they've been waiting for. Some of them climbing toward you on stalks that are kind of half in the whirlpool formed beneath you. The kind of open maw of the rest of the great lift shaft. And there are people who have kind of debris rafts who either purposefully or not so purposefully are being dragged toward you on those debris rafts, and they're looking for help, but you're still a little above the water. You're right here. We had some folks who used the emergency brake. I do believe it was Effie and Dewey. They had wrenched down on the emergency brake while our, was it Cece? Cece was using the tech part of the elevator, and combined, they were able to lock it in place. And it was able to be straightened out. Where are we now? What's going on? What are you guys going to do with that information?
Is there any way for the elevators itself to communicate with the actual docking stations to try and close that up in any way?
Close what up? The beneath you?
The dock. The issue is that the whirlpool is because of the holes created by the docks not closing up with the elevators, right?
It is basically an open hole that the elevator, the lift, rests in, and it kind of nests itself in a kind of edge that forms a dock, so to speak. And so it rests in that, but the hole has always been there. It's just that there are kind of barriers to the lift that keep you from just walking into the hole. The hole beneath you has always been there, but people don't really think about it. Nobody goes down beneath floor 4, so it's never really come up. Now that all the doors are open and the lift is up, the water is pouring in. There is no door to close that off with.
Oh, it's like the elevator shaft?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of shaft? Cece definitely just like pops her head out and is like, okay, so this is terrible. How do we get down?
You mean, how do we get up?
I think Cece relays that we're not going up. Didn't something break?
There are things that are breaking. There seems to be
We were like listing.
There was some listing, and there was a hand crank mechanism that was used to stabilize, but it doesn't look like it's going to be something you can lift all the way up with. We could roll for that, though. Do you guys want to use the kind of the hardware pieces you use to level the elevator to try and raise up? We can go for that.
I feel like Dua would probably be looking around and trying his best to try to get things going back in the upward direction for sure.
Fuck these people.
I mean, like there is a roaring. It's like being next to a huge waterfall, but it's beneath you. You can't hear the screams of the hundreds of people going over the edge constantly. It's just a cacophony. So, I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, I mean,
I say we find a way to go back up. I don't know if we need to go down. If there's a way to go up, if any of y'all got any fancy gadgets or any ideas, that would be greatly appreciated, because this shit sucks right now. I don't like it.
I mean, is there any way that we can like climb out of the lift and maybe like drop the remaining lift into the hole to kind of block it? Is that a possibility that anybody can think of?
Yeah. Well, you're kind of nestled in a. There are effectively. You can think of it like an elevator shaft. It goes all the way up and it goes all the way down, and in the center it's basically hollow, right? The shaft is. It has 4 quarters to it. You're in one of the quarters. One of the great lifts is taking up the northwestern corner of this lift, and you are kind of stuck, not at floor 4, not at floor 3. You're kind of right between, which is still pretty damn high because there are very large buildings that are that whole length, and your other 3 quarters of this open maw are up higher, being used by the populated floors of the hive. So floor 1, floor 2, and floor 3 are using the other 3. If this hole were to be completely filled, it would take all 4 of those elevators to be brought down to the water level, to nest in their floor 4 drop point. You could see
clarify.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, the only way we were able to get down here in the first place is because we had the captain's skeleton key.
Yes.
We need the skeleton key in each individual elevator to bring it down to this level.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that would be very difficult. You asked about closing things a minute ago. This shaft is effectively right now 4 corners because the doors have been opened as well. It's something that might have been done by the hive officials. It might have been a result from the whatever is going on with the walls of the hive itself, the ports that opened up. You're not really sure, but the actual doors for entering and exiting the lift on all 4 sides of you are wide open. It could be that you may have luck in closing those doors off to allow people to continue, or to not continue falling down the hole. Is that what you aim to do?
I mean, if it keeps people from falling in the fucking hole, we should do what we can.
That's I'm like just trying to figure out what's the best way to like keep it from, you know, sucking people down into the depths of, I don't know, death and.
I mean, if we close off our doors, theoretically, there's grating in the bottom of the elevator, right? I'm understanding that correctly. We're not going to like fill this up with water. So theoretically, if we close all of our doors except for, you know, the entrance, it's going to go from a, 100% chance of somebody going down one of these holes to a 25, because one of the 4 shafts will have walls in it.
Yeah, it's going to be something. Well, so it is going to be up to you. How do you guys want to try for this? We can try going about this from a hardware perspective. If somebody has a high tech, you can start going into the panels and start poking around for elevator controls at a greater level. There are different panels. You're already in.
I was just saying, CC's fist deep in the like mechanical controls, just trying to poke around in there. I'm going to use tech. So yeah, guy,
making love to that console, boy.
Well, I think
Okay.
we should go up, but I I hate to leave these people.
Well, I don't actually know that up is a possibility right now. There was a whole lot of listing, and we did pull the emergency brake. So...
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Maybe we could try.
That's true. So if we can't go up, then how do we go down but not get sucked in?
Well, I think the point is we do get sucked in. Well, okay, so follow me on this journey, right? So if we go down, there's a docking station for the lift itself. So theoretically, we would hit the docking station and then just be sitting in the water with these people, which is, not our fave, but it's also not us trying to climb our way back up and then potentially having the same thing happen again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Will you stop functioning altogether, CC? Will this tech, be an issue if you get wet?
Unfortunately for me, I'm mostly flesh. The flesh is indeed weak. So I'll be fine. Also, most of my tech replacements are internal. So, took out the lungs, took out the heart, so that way I could be, pumping it to the masses so quickly. But that's fine. I'll be fine.
Okay. Well, then I guess let's go down. That seems to be our one and only option.
Maybe at the bottom of the hole, there's a really, really small hole. So maybe if we threw something in it, that small hole would then get filled.
That is entirely possible.
We could start with that there kitty cat thing that you keep talking to.
Kitty cat thing?
Do
we mean Muffin? The dog?
The little dog thing?
You named that thing?
Let me be abundantly clear when I say this. If anything happened to Muffin, I would sooner kill everyone in this room. Including myself, including Nene.
Oh, no.
Just a thought.
It's a family destroyer.
Shot in the dark.
Okay.
He's just a little guy.
So we have
Muffin's
that.
like, bark.
So we have that. Okay. Now you are doing a tech check then, Roland. Let's go ahead and get that.
I have to pull up my fucking character sheet a moment, please. Children don't curse. All right, I bumped my intelligence through the fucking roof. Let's go. Yes! God damn it. So my intelligence is a 55, and my tech roll is a 7. And I also have plus 10 to tech use.
All right, I think you got it. So here's what we're gonna do. You guys have a display. And you are able to see on this display that there are different settings for the lift you're on. When you used the skeleton key, the shaft beneath you was revealed by effectively the outer doors of the elevator shaft, because there's the outer doors and then there's the individual doors on each of the great lifts. When you came down, it's what opened up the doors, the walls on the outside, that is allowing for the vortex to be created beneath you. You can use that same key to close those outer doors, and go down, close those outer doors, and go up. At least that's what the diagram says. You can leave the doors open and try to force the issue going down. However, there are sensors that are going to keep going off the moment you get close to water. It's going to detect that there's a problem, shouldn't be there, and it's going to lock up and be like, whoa, are you sure? And then you can use it again. You can keep going down into the water, but every little bit it's going to be like, I don't want to. So that's going to be up to you. So you can basically adjust this however you want. There are displays, and it effectively comes up as a touch panel with some specifications you can put in if there's something that you'd like to do.
So if I'm understanding, removing the skeleton key will shut the other 3 holes, or we'll be able to...
You'll be able to... I'm sorry, yeah, this could have been much more
close the doors, right? So
yeah,
that way, theoretically, the holes would still be open. But
the hole beneath you open, but there's no more vortex.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Just put up a sign, wet floor, big hole.
Sure, yeah. Warning sucks.
And so Cece relays that and goes, okay, so theoretically, you're probably better with pictures instead of like running binary codes. So here. And she like pulls up the panel. Be like, so yeah, theoretically, we could like close it so that the vortex would stop. It wouldn't get rid of the hole because the hole is for the lift itself. But then the vortex would stop. So that's
I think that's positive. Let's do that.
Okay.
Then we can figure out how to open these ports again.
Yes.
Okay. So, is that the move?
I am Cece the savior. I turn off this whirlpool.
Okay. So you shut the outer doors, and you hear the same wrenching you heard as you came down. It seems to be that this key is working. It's doing its job. Did you also ask for the elevator to change position, or was this something that you were able to... Do you just want to close the outer doors?
Well, theoretically, like, I'm still waiting on Cece is bringing it out to the group. Are we going up or down? Cece is voting down. It's going to bump us against water, but, like... Ugh.
Down.
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Sounded like Dua wanted to go up.
He was up.
If y'all thinking that going down gets us faster to going up, and since y'all are obviously much smarter than me, I guess it makes sense. We can do that.
Oh, is it faster? What's the distance between going to the floor 3 and to the docking station?
You
said
are
we're in the
exactly
middle, right?
beneath. You're right between both. You are kind of suspended several floors up right now.
So, sorry, I'm going to ask so many more clarifying questions. When we were listing around, was that an issue with like the cable networks and the actual mechanical aspects of the lift above us? Or was it just a matter of like the water and the gates being open?
Well, it was two things. One, the system is very, very old. It's not supposed to be doing what you're doing. You are overriding what it wants to do. It's coming up against an uneven pressure because you were dealing with water that was basically rushing down. And so you had a pressure from the water, no pressure over here as it was toward the center. And so your pressure distribution came at a bad angle. You started to list, and that uneven pressure started to break things. You have corrected that with a manual pump, thanks to Doa and Effie. And so you were able to straighten out. It's probable that the lift still works, but it was sensing an uneven pressure and water, and so it locked up. When you hit water over here, air over here, it was effectively like having, I don't know, a rock under your shoe. You can tell there's a problem, and so you kind of recoil your foot. It's something similar, except there's no recoil, it just starts breaking. Is that clear?
It is clear, but that's changing Cece's vote to up.
Oh. So that's the move. Okay, so we have 3 up. We have.
I think there's probably a better way to go
Well,
down
just to clarify.
after we go up. You know what I'm saying? I may not be the
am I able
smartest.
to? So the idea is I want to close the doors and stop the whirlpool, but is that going to F us up if we're between floors when I do it?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's not supposed to. Nothing in what you've read says that's going to happen. If you want to do a tech check, we can find out.
Oh god, let's fucking go. My intelligence is a 55, and I have plus 10. Let's
What
see
could go wrong?
Yeah, it's gone forever. Let's try that one more time. Don't look at me. Not as good as a 7. 26.
26. Yeah, you're gonna be fine. I take it you shut the doors then.
Yeah, with that saving people's lives. Yeah, we're gonna shut the doors, stop the whirlpool.
All right. So you do. You shut the doors. The whirlpool stops. It is a wrenching, terrible noise. Doors that, ironically, because of all the oil and the bulbs of the kelp all around you, haven't been oiled in an unknown amount of time, probably ever. And it's something that there's a grating to it, and it's disorienting because you're in the middle of effectively an echo chamber, but it's nothing harming. It's just really, really, really annoying. And then a thud, and while you do see kind of a almost gentle stream of water, if you've ever seen a leaky pipe, that kind of a thing, yeah, the walls are crying, but it's holding back the water. You can hear the internal mechanisms of the doors adjusting to all the pressure of the weight and the weight of the water. You can hear debris kind of hitting against it as the water settles, but things seem to be holding.
And so, to clarify, the hole with the open elevator shaft is the way that the water was draining in the first place. That's what was going to take 4 days. By stopping that, this is now standing water.
It's actually lowering water. It's going beneath you.
Just not as fast?
It's going pretty quick. It's not being refilled, so there's no... It's kind of like when you turn the water off in your tub. Except there's no tub, it's just a drain. The water's
CC
actually going very
shuts
quickly.
The doors and goes, there, I fixed it. So what do we do?
Well,
We need to get these ports open, so we have to go down in the water. So we need something to... We need a boat. Because I don't think this tank can float.
I don't know. Maybe Effie should try.
well, and you also can use your key to gain access beneath the hive. You can go down in the lift further. This here, if you're seeing the stream, is your shaft. You guys are about here on floor 4. And you're about the size of a pixel, all of you together. And this great lift, you're about right here, just kind of suspended. Water seems to be going down.
But if
So
we go
we were
any
sent-
lower in the elevator, is it going to drown us when we get down there?
Well, the elevator stopped when it hit water the last couple times, so I don't think it's just going to straight shunt us into water.
And the water is going down, down, down. You don't really know
I
where
know we
that's
were
at.
Go further down.
You're
we
saying
were
further
sent to
down?
just like the captain's instructions were to investigate like all of the. He's specifically looking for just to figure out what is going on floor 4, or did we get specific wording to go further down? Because I know that there was mention of doing so, but I don't think it was the orders that were given to us.
It was your instruction to find out what happened if you can, but you need the doors open so rescue can get to the people who are on floor 4. Because they need to effectively get as many people out as possible, because right now the season for harvesting should have started and people aren't. And they need people to stop rioting. They need people to man the machines to get out there and collect and bring it back. And also their lives or whatever. I mean, like, it's like, sure, okay. But
So the water is still draining out, but it's still going to take 4 days in order for that to happen.
no, it's just going. It's happening right now. It's, in fact, if you were to roll perception, being bathed in the red emergency light of the elevator, you probably can't even see the water beneath you. If you
I
look
rolled a
down through the
perception,
grate.
but I got a 68.
68? Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to. You guys can roll perception if you want. I think it would take an incredible roll, and all you would see is ice, swirling water, and debris kind of circling the drain, literally. It's on the way down.
I
All you can see
do we
is-
we could be
wanna-
better equipped for this kind of adventure if we get some sort of boat or hover vehicle to come back down and investigate further.
Or like some sort of self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Mm.
The hell did you just
Like
say?
a respirator.
A respirator, sure. That would be, I could see that being helpful. Are you guys set on going up then?
Taking
Yeah,
up
we
the-
need to go up
Muffin?
so we can get
Muffin?
stuff and then come back.
Okay,
Muffin doesn't get a vote because he's a dog.
fair enough.
I still think
Not
it would
because he's a
plunge that tiny
robot, but
hole.
because he's a dog.
And what was that doing?
I still think that little animal creature would solve all these problems if we would just chuck them. But if that's not the option, we can go up. That's fine.
I hear you, and unfortunately, in this moment, that is not the option. But we'll keep
Alright.
it. We'll
Alright.
table it.
Okay. All right. I can be
Okay.
agreeable.
So you're gonna command the elevator to go up. You've locked those doors in place, and now you're specifying, rather than override everything, take me down, which is what we had in the scenario that opened the doors and created the whirlpool. It's keep the elevators closed, take the elevator up. Or keep the doors closed,
Yep.
take the elevator up.
If we come back here and have to go down to floor 4, which we do, and does this now mean that we would have to go through the whole shebang of opening and closing again, or can Cece just put a program in there to be like, hey, I'll be back? Hold on.
Definitely. Oh yeah. No, it was just because there weren't careful commands input, and that's not you didn't know there were gonna be problems. That's how you find things out. You get in there and you break stuff, and then you figure out how not to break it the next time.
So for me, just so I understand, the key was basically saying, open it all up, fuck you and your feelings. And then now that we've seen what happened as a result, we're like, okay, just kidding.
Right. Exactly.
Do this in a way that doesn't kill us.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Got it.
Up it is. So you guys are going up. You put in the commands to go up. Let's go for a can I get a perception roll from each of you, please?
Better than a 68.
45.
49.
45, 49. Does anybody succeed?
45.
45?
15.
15. Okay. Effie, do you succeed your perception by a degree of 2? Do you have a degree of 2? So what is your perception?
My perception is 36. I rolled a
36.
15.
Perfect. Yeah, so you're good.
Almost
So you
that,
definitely
too.
do. Yeah, that's good. You notice that as it starts to go up, there is a horrible wrenching, snapping sound because the emergency brakes are still on.
Oh,
Oops.
The manual emergency brakes, correct?
That's right.
Not-
That's right. The ones that were put in place at the end of last session, and then the crank was used to stabilize you guys.
Do I know it's the brakes or do I just hear the noise?
Yep, you know.
All right, I'm going to tell everybody.
Oh, okay.
You mean this
Why?
lever here? I guess holding the brake, the emergency brake, because he was strong arming it.
The
Is
wrenching
there,
is
is there a
getting
way?
stronger.
Is there a way to release it? Is
Yeah,
there a way
there's
to release
a-
the emergency brake?
It's going to be a strength check. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
All right. 28.
Okay, what's your strength?
Nice.
40.
40. All right. So,
Jack.
just 2 degrees of success. That's pretty good. You can feel it starting to move, but there's pressure, upward pressure going against it. It's getting much
Somebody
more
give me a
difficult.
hand.
I will also make a strength check.
Okay, let's get it.
Maybe somebody stronger.
My strength is a 40. Fuck you. And that's
Oh,
a
shit.
21.
Mine's
It
an
is
eight.
Success. What was
and
that?
it's easy.
8.
8.
So
Okay.
you just like push it.
Nice,
Oh, yeah.
nice.
I loosened it up for you.
Sure, and then everybody piles on, and there's a heavy thud. You feel a shudder, and you hear a couple things snap, but the elevator starts to lift. Probably nothing to worry about.
I think for me, just for me, let's not take this exact same elevator on our way back down, huh?
I think you make a really good point.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Why
so
not?
you
It's been
guys
really good to us.
well, you guys have really done well. You rolled a nat 1 on it last time. You guys didn't know that there was a nat 1 on you guys. It was basically like your luck. And I rolled a nat 1 for you on whether or not things were going to be god awful. And yeah, you guys did pretty well. You didn't even know it. So
We just put up a wet floor sign. It's fine.
yeah, pretty much. So okay, you guys show up. The doors part open on 3. Or are you guys going up higher because there's a war zone on 3 right now? You guys
I
going?
don't know
we
if
need
we
to go
can
to-
risk going higher.
Let's go to 2.
Going to 2?
Let's go to 3 and then get a different elevator.
Oh, we go. You guys
Okay,
going
fair
to 3 different elevator?
But we
Yeah.
haven't been to 2 yet. It'll be
That's true.
Oh my god. Fine.
Sightseeing.
Let's go to fine. Fuck it. Let's go to 2.
I've got some fond memories of 2.
Okay.
I swear to God.
So we get up to floor 2, and it's I say getting up, but it's been like a clenched butt cheeks, kind of like every time you hear a click or a thud or there's some kind of a struggling. One of the engines on the side is just starts to give it a little more, and you're like, hang in there. And there's shuddering, but you click into place, and the docking mechanisms for the lift on 2 seal the elevator into its final resting place on floor 2.
All right, now we
Cece
all
slams
jump on
the door
3.
open. Cece slams the door open and
One.
goes, "Wait, children first!"
I slam on the gas and get the heck out of here.
Okay, you do. And I need a perception check from y'all.
We should put a caution sign on this one so no one tries to use it. It's an 82.
66.
47.
98.
I got a 2.
You got
We're
it too?
really
You
needing
found
to get out
Pilar's
of that
missing
elevator.
numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys rush out, and I understand. 98, 86.
44.
And what was Effie's roll?
66.
And then do it.
47.
Okay. So what you guys see is floor 2. There's light. Oh, light. Sunlight, actually. Remember, the skies are starting to part, or the clouds are starting to part. You're actually getting some sunlight. This is lovely. Most of the time it's overcast in your environment. No, not here. It's beautiful. And it's not even gross. It's actually pretty well kept. However, though, you do see that barricades have been set up. The barricades have been set up, and there seems to be a standing PD force that has created a kind of a lock system for anybody looking to try and migrate, say, from certain flooding floors of the hive, who think that 2 may be a refuge for them. As a precaution. They don't want any of the riffraff thinking that they're 2 material. You understand. So, it was my understanding that Effie was just kind of barreling out of the elevator, gunning it. Is that right?
We love you using your own words.
Yes.
Okay. So, the... Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and give me a piloting roll for your assault vehicle.
13.
Incredible. So, you see that this is the PDF in front of you, and with a 13, you're going to be able to stop before you start running people over. Is that your intention, or do you just kind of floor it?
I guess I'll stop
pause.
this time.
Yeah,
The pause.
the weighted heavy pause. Okay, so you decide to stop before you run people over, but it gets close. The guy actually starts to kind of like, he's in his tactical gear, and he's got his las rifle, and you guys are clearly with the arbites. You're wearing the robes that, or your kind of uniform that you normally do, and they're familiar. And well, here you go. But somebody does step forward. Hang on there. What's all this? Pointing at the assault vehicle. Just gesturing, not to any one of you, but whoever wants to speak up.
The elevator tried to kill us.
The lift tried to kill you?
That's right.
Oh, you had a malfunction in the lift. Oh my goodness.
We need
Yeah.
a boat.
Don't use this one because it's like totally broken. You should put caution tape on it or something. Anyway,
It was
we
only-
need like flotation devices and ray breathers. We have to go back to floor 4.
Oh.
It's only doing what we told it to do. Give it a chance. Also, quite literally, don't give it a chance. It's her.
Yeah, don't. Okay, well, okay. So, you said you needed supplies? We can see what we have, sure. Do you plan on rehousing the assault craft? Is that something that's coming up for repairs? Where are you planning on leaving this?
Didn't we get it from you?
Not from 2,
Did we
no.
not?
It
Oh.
wasn't from these people. Like, there was an assault group that was boarding from 2, but it wasn't from these people that you got it. You kind of just commandeered it from the people who were going to reinforce 3.
But 3's fine.
I would like to trade it for a
We don't know.
amphibious Hubert.
Okay, you're looking for something
But
a little...
3's fine.
Oh, you're deciding that 3's fine. Okay.
I'm manifesting. It's a difference.
Oh, you're performing the secret. You're secreting, as it were. Okay. So 3's fine. Anyway, you're asking for an amphibious vehicle, something that's not going to be laden with water because this thing has giant, heavy tires. You want something and treads. You want something that's a little less gonna sink. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Yeah.
It needs to be able to fight a strong current.
Go ahead and give me a fellowship roll.
Everybody?
93.
Please not me. I'm a tech priest.
Oh
Please.
God, I got a 100.
79.
Oh no. 31. My fellowship is a 37.
32, and my fellowship is a 40.
Oh,
Well, the
nice.
one's place is a 6, and the 10's
Oh.
place is a 10. Let's go.
So I take it you actually got the highest roll, is that right?
Yeah, I got a 16.
Oh, the best, rather. Okay, the best. Because the highest went to D-Beck. D-Beck Gallus got a 100.
He's the king of hundreds, man.
Throw away your dice.
So what happens
Spit
here
on him.
is Cece kind of steps forward to who seems to be in charge. They have some PDF markings, and you recognize this is someone of standing, but the PDF ranks, it's beneath you. First of all, you. Can we talk about how this is floor 2 and so gross? But also, you're an Arbite. These are basically drafted riffraff.
I think as politely as she can in this under the circumstances, Cece just walks up and goes, "Hi, I'm so sorry we didn't introduce ourselves before. My name's Cecilia Fox, our bitey officer Cecilia Fox from floor 1. Hi."
Hello. Yes, ma'am. You said that you're leaving this vehicle, is that right?
That's correct. We're going to leave this with you because, we're going to use it to requisition something a little more worthwhile for our endeavors currently.
Oh.
You can help out with floor 3 if you're so inclined, or just keep it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
We could use a little more reinforcement.
Keep it.
Shut the fuck up. I'm talking.
Well,
Man,
as it
I like it when
happens,
you like
D-Beck
that.
knows exactly what you need for your new acquisition. You're going to be kind of trading vehicles, so to speak. D-Beck, why don't you go ahead and tell us what kind of craft you guys are looking for your spelunking?
You bet just as a raft.
Yeah. A raft.
A raft.
A little floaty boat.
A floaty boat. I think we can do... I think we have exactly what you're looking for. Don't worry. We'll take this. And he gestures to two of the men to hop up onto the vehicle. And they're kind of waiting awkwardly without saying anything while Effie sits in the driving seat of the vehicle. Is there... Basically, he's looking to make the trade now. That's the silent implication, but of course its final say is up to you. What's the move here, Effie?
He guns it.
How many people are there?
In total, there are two PDF forces on the vehicle. There are about 8 more on the ground.
I'm just gonna, sulkily get out of the seat and just kind of stand there with my head kind of down.
Well,
Just staring at the ground.
You guys might be better served with one of these. I understand you lose a lot of power when you step out of the commanding chair of one of these, says the ranking person of the PDF. Ugh, PDF ranks. And he kind of gestures to somebody after speaking into his lapel radio, and somebody brings up, it's not a piece of shit, because that would be very difficult for everyone to stand on at the same time. But if a piece of shit was a hover craft, you could think of it like that. It's more or less the size of a Volkswagen Beetle if it were flat and had no edges on it whatsoever, just a command console. And it does hover, technically. Technically, it hovers. And it's very loud. And it comes over, and it's like, I believe this fits your exact specification, gesturing over to Gallus.
Ah. Expected something a little bit newer. I guess this will work.
It's new to you, son. Hey, thank you very much for this. And the assault vehicle kind of trundles past. And
Goodbye, Hubert.
Hubert, no. It's gone.
Yes.
So yeah, you have your new craft, and you all get to stand in what is effectively the square area of a Volkswagen Beetle.
I'd like to get this person in charge's name, just for future.
So you okay? So you're
disinformation command.
What's that?
Another disinformation campaign going.
Yeah.
Oh no, Effie runs people over.
Okay.
No.
Okay. It is Oral. This is Sergeant Oral.
Oral?
Of Orla. No, it's Aura.
Aura
It is
what?
Sergeant Aura of PDF Floor 2. You have I would say a rapport with him now, and since you've obviously made a pretty one-sided trade, you actually have, we'll say, good graces with this individual if you need to speak with him again.
He's like, oh, sick. Thanks for the tank.
Kinda, yeah, and he got to unload a piece of, because you got to repair that. I mean, he effectively just up-traded and didn't have to repair something. He just gained quite a bit, so this is a big deal.
Well, thank you for answering that question, because Cece was going to give this a once-over to see if it's fully a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nyla's looking at it and she's like, I don't know, like, I'm a really, really good pilot, like, super good at piloting hovercrafts, but, like, I don't know about this thing. And she kind of, like, kicks it with her boot.
It's fine, I got it. And Cece's gonna try and crack it open.
What is your piloting skill, Sarah? I believe you're actually trained in it now.
I am. I have a basic training in pilot hovercraft, so I don't take any I can do it. I can pilot it, but I'm not actually that good. Just regular good.
Okay. And so you guys have traded for that. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do while you were here?
We're waiting for a new elevator.
Well, you can just walk
waiting
over.
for a
and
new
just-
Yeah,
elevator.
but we need like
well, you can just.
Cece, I'm sure you can breathe underwater. I don't know. Did you replace your lungs yet? And Muffin
Yeah.
can, obviously, but Muffin might sink. But anyway, we
Thank
need
God.
rebreathers because if we have to swim, like, holding your breath sucks, and also I hate water up my nose. Anyway, I'm gonna go find some rebreathers, and then she takes off to go find some rebreathers.
Hey, Nene, just a quick question. Just for me. What if we just went back up to floor 1 in a new elevator and got all our stuff there? Because you know it's
Oh
going to be
my
a
God.
better quality? Not to, like, insult the PDF agents in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure they're doing, like, the best they can as PDF and also as being on floor 2. But, you
Wow.
know, just a thought.
You know, Cece, you're so right.
I mean,
Let's go back to
considering
floor
what they
1.
offered us in exchange, they're clearly struggling for resources. It's not their fault. They're just struggling.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Oh, yeah, let's go. And then she just chills, waiting for an elevator.
So I just want to make sure I understand correctly.
Piece of shit.
Does anybody else have anything they want to do?
Kind of out of character a little bit. We did contact our up and ups about the fact that like the grates were closing when they like shouldn't be, right?
Yep.
Yes,
We did
but
make that clear,
the issue
right?
with that phone call was that the captain didn't get all of the nuance that we needed because I believe he thought we were talking about oxygen tanks and stuff like that. So we would still need to get in touch with him in regards to like requisitioning stuff because he has no idea what's happening.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Did we have anything from anyone else?
I mean, happy to go with what they've already decided or
Okay.
desire to do.
Sounds good. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. I'm not cutting anybody off. So, just to make sure I understand, you guys are going to go to floor 1, where you were sent from, so that you can report that after leading an assault on floor 1, squishing the sergeant, and then going down to do something, you didn't do that thing, and then you came up after breaking a quarter of your entire hive's transportation for the entire hive. And
I was just gonna go wonderful.
That wasn't us. That wasn't us. Mm-mm.
Okay, look, we don't have to
We
tell
went down and
Captain
discovered it was
Merrick
broken.
everything, okay?
Mhm.
Let's just avoid him and get the rebreathers and go.
not to
I'm
mention
up for
opening
that.
the doors on the lift, causing a whirlpool, killing thousands.
I mean,
Well, that was
maybe not.
totally
thousands of
not our
dollars.
fault because we didn't know it was happening, but we fixed
Sure.
it. So
Sure,
now we
sure.
know.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm
we
understanding
needed,
that.
It
like, even
was
more people.
an
They all
accident.
would have died.
Okay.
That vortex
and
was there when we got there.
it was. It actually was. It was. When you
Because
arrived,
the alternative
it was there.
to getting yelled at by our captain, the alternative to getting yelled at by our captain is going down to a partially, if not fully flooded section of the hive on what is functionally a skateboard. So,
Ooh, that's true. You also, and I just to make sure I'm understanding, you're going to leave the guy that you currently have pull with on floor 2 to go to floor
Did he still
1.
here? If we have full, then yeah, let's get some shit from him.
I just want to make sure I understand what you're doing. And
I
you
thought he
know,
was
you can do what
long
you
gone
want.
with his new tank.
No. He's
take
still
him
at the
with
line.
us.
He's still right here. You guys are good.
I thought he was making out with the tank. Like, I don't know.
You could do
I
both.
rolled like a 50 for my perception.
You can do both.
Awful.
Yeah.
I want to ask him if he has any rebreathers.
Oh, yeah. Well, not personally.
Scuba equipment.
Scuba equipment. We do have rebreathers. We could arrange for some. It's really more used for. Actually, I don't know. It's really more used for riots, for making sure that if we gas an area or if something happens that we need to go in and fix some like a methane leak or something like that. It's really meant as like almost like a hazmat suit, but it is a contained breathing apparatus. We could get you guys some of those rebreathers if you wanted.
Yes,
Will
we'll
they
take them
work
all.
for water?
I hope it is contained. It can secure to the head
Sorry.
pretty tight.
I love memery, but if I remember, 40k rebreathers do work underwater. Are
They do.
These ones not?
They do.
Okay.
He doesn't have any
All
reason
right.
to believe they don't, but he hasn't tested them.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, we need a bunch of those because look, floor 4 is in shambles, and we've been sent down there to go like figure it out. So if you can give us some of those rebreathers, that would be great.
Okay, so you guys can send one of your crew to go look at and get gear from Floor 2's armory. This is going to be their
Okay.
Arbites armory. It's going to be the best because they're going to basically take you to your office because they're telling you they can get you stuff, but they're not going to give you anything from their shelves. It's going to be the Floor 2 Arbites because they're not going to, they have their own stuff and they're not going to take from their. But the sergeant is going to be able to basically give you a rubber
Obviously,
stamp
I
on
want
whatever
it
you
from
want.
the Arbites.
So, y'all are going to go to the Floor 2 Arbites, but you have to elect one among your party to go do the inspecting and retrieval of the gear. Who wants to volunteer, or who wants to volunteer someone else?
Well, Zuri
I
is our
think-
leader.
She's got the notebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, in regards to like being able to inspect equipment to make sure it works the way it should, I'd probably be the best at that role. But my perception's not that high, so being able to like find or convince somebody to give us a thing is my doubtful. CC stats are in strength and tech, not in fellowship or perception.
Yeah, I've got pretty good fellowship, and my perception is 28. So I'm happy to go.
My perception is 40, and my intelligence is 30, but I do have a fellowship of 37.
Oh, then maybe you.
Look, I know all about guns. I know so much about guns, and I can shoot all of the guns perfectly. And also, I just know that if it's going to be from floor 2, it's going to be like, okay, quality. So I can go get them.
Okay.
Okay, well, I support you, and I just lean in closer. And if it turns out to be shit, just tell me, and we'll try and figure it out.
Sounds good. Can I take Muffin for backup just in case?
He will bite the shit out of whoever you want him to bite. It's great.
Love it. Muffin, let's go. And then I put him in my little pack.
So we elect
I was like,
Nyla,
I'll
is
just
that right?
hand you my whole purse.
Is that right?
Oh, wait, yeah. Is everybody okay with this?
Yeah.
Certainly.
I take your silence as acquiescence.
I love
The
that.
hell did you just say?
A lot of syllables trapped up in
Called
that.
you a slur.
Oh no. Okay.
They say no.
So
What? What?
You're great, then I'm going. Here I go. And then she takes off.
Okay.
She walks very fast for somebody that is so short.
And the captain, or the sergeant Aura takes you to the Arbites office. There's some public transportation. The rest are kind of twiddling their thumbs unless they have anything they'd like to point out, do, or otherwise
I want
get
to
to.
juice up the skateboard.
Okay, give me a tech roll. And does anybody want to help?
No.
No.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Damn, sir, you don't want to like hold the flashlight?
I'll hold the flashlight.
Thank you. You're so
welcome.
helpful.
With
Let's
my
hit the
stats,
tech
I
roll.
don't think you'd want me helping you.
It can hurt. So that's a smart move. What's your tech roll?
Under
gonna
my
be?
computer tower, I need a new D10. Hold on.
Well, Zuri, why don't you go ahead and give me a roll in the meantime?
Uh, 39.
39. And then Zuri, go ahead and give me a roll.
7.
Ooh.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your tech? Intelligence?
My intelligence is 30.
30. And do you have any training in tech? You do because you're our buddy. So you don't take a damage.
Yeah.
You don't suffer any consequence. Okay, damn. So that's that's 3 degrees of success. And rolling with your score, it's 55 in total, or is it
55, and then I have plus 10 in tech use. So what is
65,
that?
so you had-
functionally?
and then you rolled a what?
3 degrees of success.
Yeah, 3 degrees. Cool. Okay, great. So that was a total of 6 degrees of success. You are going to be able to. So you get in here, you get into the terminal, you're accessing the database. The flashlight work is just wonderful, pinpointing exactly what key needs to be pressed next, so that typing is done well. The point is, things are you basically plug into it, and it's like, do you want to extend the guardrails and turn on the secondary engine?
Yes.
And then rails
Thank
pop up, a second engine turns on, it lifts about half a foot off the ground, and it stops making the horrible choking noise it's been making.
I just did the best I can. I don't know how to pilot this.
Sure. Well, you've done great for this. Honestly, you've got a securing mechanism and handles to hold on to rather than... who described it as a skateboard? Was that you?
It was CC.
Yeah, so it's not a skateboard anymore. That's kind of nice. So now it's more like one of those wind, the paddle boards that have. It's like the wind surfing where you have like the actual bar you're hanging on to and you kind of go up. And anyway, point is, great, excellent work. Let's go over to the Sarah Nyla scenario. You are being taken to the Arbites armory. You're given 6 of the rebreathers. Roll for me, please, a perception check.
Come on, dice. 34.
What is your perception? 36?
40.
40? Okay. Roll for me a fellowship, please.
Okay. 11.
The sergeant leans in. So you're really going to floor 4?
Yeah. Our Captain Merrick, needed us to go down there because honestly, like, haven't you seen that, like, on floor 3, like, nobody wants to, like, start harvesting the kelp, and it's, like, kind of important that we start doing that, and no one is doing it because they're, like, missing their family and stuff. So he needed us to go down there to figure it out, but the problem is that everything sucks down there, and we need to figure out how to open the ports so we can get these people saved, so people will do their work.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Listen, I wasn't going to say anything because we've got them in there. Some of them have family on 3, some of them have family on 4. But we're really stacking up a lot of orders, and we have nothing so far. Do you have any idea when it is we're going to be back to work? Any idea what's going on?
Well, as soon as we figure out this shit on floor 4, then we should be back in business. But, like, all of the tech priests that were down there drowned, so it's gonna be some work. I don't have an ETA.
Well,
I wish I did. It would make this easier.
and then roll another perception check, please.
87.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Here is the armory right here. And, take what you need. And in here, you're going to find crates of grenades, smoke grenades. You're going to find a couple flares. You're going to find kind of standard emergency equipment, reflective vests if you really feel like you need them. You'll find a flare gun or 2. You'll have things like flak vests that are effectively just the vest. They don't provide any covering. It's effectively a bulletproof vest that you could wear. There are quite a few of them, and they're pretty good quality, but they're pretty dense. They probably don't float. It's
Probably not a good idea. We could leave them in the elevator.
well, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Definitely the rebreathers.
Mm-hmm.
So I take those. Is there like a little cart that I can take?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get the little cart and I begin my piling of everything that looks useful on the cart. So I get the rebreathers. I go ahead and put the flak vests on there, one for each of us, just in case.
Okay.
And flares, if I can, like 2 each of the flares for everyone.
Yep.
What else would be useful?
You can radio back to your
Flotation
team.
devices. Yeah, flotation devices.
Okay.
Do we have those? I add that. And then I radio the team and I'm like, hey, so there's some pretty nice flak vests. They probably won't float, but they'll be useful if people try to fight us when we take the elevator down. Also, got rebreathers and flares, and it looks like flotation devices, or like wearable, which would be helpful. So I got one for each of us and some extras in case like we can barter them or whatever, in case people are crazy down there. What else do we need?
Do you have any high-powered lights? Like, I know we have our LEDs, but like something a little bigger that we could use to search with?
Do I see any searchlights?
You see that there are several generators and standing lights that can be erected, but there's
Okay.
nothing for personal wear.
All right, how big are the generators?
About a square meter.
I mean, look, I'm a tech priest. I can eat a generator.
I
They're pretty large.
am 1.6 meters.
Yep.
So would one generator power a bunch of these lights?
Probably.
Okay. I get one generator onto the the thingamabob, and I take all of the lights that I can see. Which is what, like 4, 5?
We'll go with you take 4.
Alright. So I also lit up 4 lights, and I radio back to tell them that I found a generator. It's pretty bulky, so we can't really take it with us beyond the elevator probably, and some standing lights. Is there anything else anybody could possibly want?
Grenades.
Just for clarification, for me, how heavy are the standing lights?
I'm trying to remember the last time I was holding one of these that I'm using as a reference. About 40 pounds.
Okay, cool. I can lift that. That's it.
Okay.
Perhaps some food.
Yeah. Do I see any?
You do. Yeah, you have emergency rations. There are MREs. You have kelp bars, which is the kind of branded energy bar from your hive.
Bar?
You're not even sure what floor they're made on, but you're like, okay. So yeah, you got your K bars all over the place.
Also, probably swim goggles.
Okay, do I
There
see
are
any
none to
swim
there are
goggles?
none to be found.
Okay. That's a negative on
Maybe
the
a-
swim goggles. We're just gonna have
Maybe
to
a-
like raw dog it in the water, I guess.
Maybe like a shower cap for my hair. I don't want to get my hair.
Okay, give me one final perception check, elected person.
82. I don't know if that's gonna give us a
Oh
shower
my
cap.
Christ. Okay, well, you don't see a lot. Give me one more fellowship.
sexy.
I'm trying to give you opportunities here. One more fellowship roll.
Okay.
A single
31.
scuba suit so I can look real hot in just like a wetsuit.
And what is your fellowship? You said 40?
40. Or no, 37. So I still
37?
need it.
Okay.
Grab the
Well,
crate
you
of
do
grenades.
have... what's that, D-Bag?
Grab the crate of grenades.
Oh, okay. I load up the crate of grenades too.
Need a crate of grenades.
You got a crate though.
Is there
So
any kind of
because
Arbiety swimwear?
no
Perhaps?
swimwear, there wasn't a lot at floor 2. They don't really go in the water per se. That's more of a 3 and a 4 thing. Ugh. But
Yeah, checks out.
you do find that there are a box of neoprene gloves type of thing that are they're just gloves. It's just,
Still good.
I mean, you
Are
could
there any
use
like
that.
fins?
Are there any bins? There are bins, but she's not seeing them.
No, fins.
Oh,
Fins.
fins. No. Again, that's more of a 3 or a 4
Right,
kind of
of
a
course.
thing.
Yeah.
But the sergeant, because you did make such a great trade, you know, I feel bad if I didn't offer. And he hands you it is a 2-handed, unwieldy net gun. And he's like, I don't know if you're looking for anything like this, but this is effectively kind of a catch and retrieval device. Do you guys need this? That's the best I can give you.
Absolutely.
We all have weapons,
do you need
right?
that? What's that?
Like, we all
Yes.
have weapons, right? I know I do.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
A net gun is super useful though. Thank you
Harpoon.
so
Get a
much. She like
harpoon.
leans in and like takes his wrists as he hands her the net gun, and she's like, "You will be remembered as being the most helpful person for this mission."
Yeah, there were basically like 6 tiers of stuff you could get, and this is the best I can do for you with what you're rolling. So
Yeah.
here you go. And it's effectively on like a little hover scooter, and you can drag it around with the handle. And
All right.
you can take it back, and it kind of floats along like Baby Yoda outside of the public transportation as you make your way back to the crew.
Yep.
Everyone's there.
Scoot it back to the group.
This skateboard has railings now. How exciting. It doesn't seem to be making horrible noises. It probably just kind of worked itself out. It's kind of nice. So, you've got some gear. You have your improved, we'll call it a vehicle. You have your little hover lifter thing. It's going to be difficult to fit it on. You can slave it to the vehicle to float along outside of it.
Oh, really? I can do that? Let's do it.
But it does mean that given any kind of an opportunity to go fast, you might lose it. It's not capable of the same speeds as the vehicle.
If we
That'd
lose
be a
it, we
good
lose it.
trade-off.
Is that the
We're
move?
gonna bring it.
Okay.
Yeah.
On or towed?
If I can fit it on the vehicle, that would be great.
Oh, you can. Again, just imagine the square footage of a VW Beetle, and you're all just kind of standing on it. You can do it, but you can also put 200 people in any given room. It's just that you really got to push.
Hey, Stacey, can you like hook this up to tow it for now? Because it doesn't really fit super great on here.
They're gonna follow each other like little ducklings.
Okay. And you
I
don't even need to
do
worry about
so.
rolling for that. So you do, and your crew is effectively ready. Are you taking another stab at the depths?
Stab those depths.
Go ahead.
Are those goons still with us?
They are. You have 5 goons.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we need fucking.
So there's 5 goons and 6 people in a VW.
Yep.
It's a clown car.
Oh, and by the way, you don't have rebreathers for them. You said 6. Did you want 1 for each of them as well?
Yes, please. I forgot about them.
Okay.
Nyla did not forgot about them, but
Sure.
Sarah forgot about them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. They have fixed their rebreathers now. So you're all just kind of standing there. There are 11 of you. And did you say you want to try and get the... You know they're going to follow each other. That's right. 11 of you and a little dog. I'm assuming that's effectively in your bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Muffins in my bag all the time.
Great.
yeah. I gave Muffin back to Cece when we got back. He didn't need to bite anyone, so he might need to bite somebody later. I don't know.
Get his
Okay.
bites out.
So you guys are ready to go. Are you ready to depart? Is there anything else you want to do? Anywhere you want to go?
Perhaps I could ride with the luggage.
Yeah. If you want to do that.
Yeah, he's a
CC.
bit claustrophobic with all these people.
Makes sense. That's all
He
right.
fixes her rebreather
Okay.
begrudgingly.
So you head to the luggage, and Nigel, give me an FE perception check.
9.
A flat 9.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
So
9.
as you squeeze into the just kind of around the light fixtures and the generator, which is taking up the majority of the room, you can see a box of basic fragmentation grenades that's sitting precariously on top of the generator. You squeeze in, and you can't get to it yet, but there's something kind of curious that seems to have tagged along. You can't reach it yet given your current obstacles, but you do notice a glint of something kind of perhaps pulled out of the armory by mistake. That'll come up later. So everybody is up, you're hovering, you're moving. It doesn't make the horrible just like over throttling redlining to go the basic. It actually comes up and rather unremarkably takes you to the next door where you can presumably begin your descent. Is that the intention? I want to make final clarification.
Cece, to do her due diligence, does make sure that somebody is putting like a sign up for the lift.
Okay. And you can see the PDF people putting caution tape on the door as you go across. And they're looking very confused. This is actually unprecedented. They've never come across something like this. Like, can you imagine one of the great lifts being closed? Who fixes that kind of thing? And that's the last you hear from the PDF officers there.
Duh.
Yeah, but like,
I'll get to it in a second. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let you touch
to
that.
do everything.
Your tech
I'm
priest
not the one
officials
looking.
they would take your tentacles for that. So
Don't have any yet.
you go to the lift and
Stop you from getting new tentacles.
you're going to northeast, southeast, or I mean, assuming you're not going to the same one, the southwest.
We were in Northwest, yes?
You were.
Let's go to the opposite side.
So total opposite kitty corner. Okay, so southeast. Let's go. So you guys make your way over there, and I'm assuming skeleton key this time with a little more pointed commands.
Yeah, I crack open the panel and be like, hey, calm down.
This is becoming a little routine. You guys are getting adjusted to this. You guys
Terrible.
go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
27.
27.
11.
11.
66.
66.
74.
A flat 80?
Ooh. Okay, so that tracks.
39.
So, 39? So Cece goes over to the panel and is getting ready to insert the skeleton key. The rest of you are kind of looking around because this is, again, an elevator that serves potentially billions of people. There are a lot of people who are just doing work and have loaded up onto the elevator with you guys that are just kind of like,
Oh, god damn it.
not a part of this. And they're looking to like go up or down depending on where they're needed to be. And there's about 90 people on the lift right now, including you guys. With various lifting and loading equipment. There are tech priests reviewing data pads. It's a full mix. Nobody's really paying you mind given the events going on 3. It looks like you're probably just going to reinforce.
I don't see it. I got an 80.
Yep. What's the move here, guys?
Can I intimidate them off?
Yeah, go ahead. That's gonna be fellowship.
You can just ask.
I got a 66. I'm not doing shit.
I got
You
a
wanna-
57.
57 for your intimidation. And what's your fellowship again?
It's 39.
39. What is your strength modifier?
4.
Okay, 4. So you're not trained, so it's gonna be a -5. Unless you did you take intimidation
I
specifically?
am trained.
You are trained. Hot damn. How much?
Ooh, nice.
Just basic.
Okay, so there's no negative. Fantastic. So you took that. So you're looking to clear this. But I need to hear it. What's the intimidation? How are you going to threaten or otherwise coerce with fear the people into doing what you want? And what do you want them to do?
Well, I'd like them to get off the elevator.
Oh, okay.
So,
We'll scare him with a grenade.
no.
All
Oh
right.
my god.
Yeah, how are you doing that? What's going on?
I'm going to tell them that there's a malfunction and my tech priest here is here to fix it. And if you get on it, it's going to plummet you all the way down to the bottom.
Okay. So that's the
If
move
you
you're
want to
gonna go
die, come along with us. Doa kind of jumps in and helps out, seeing what Nigel's kind of doing.
with? Give me a fellowship just to help in.
Or
Hop in there.
Effie, sorry. And he's got a +10 in intimidate too. So.
Oh, damn! You guys came ready. That's excellent.
Yeah. 55. I don't really know how the +10 works though.
Well, the +10 is going to effectively add to your fellowship. So, what is your fellowship?
Fellowship is 20.
So it's effectively going to be 30. And then what's your strength modifier?
Okay. 40.
Or so it's 4. Okay. So you're looking pretty good there. That's pretty good. So you didn't pass the check, but you were only helping. So it doesn't hurt. You're just kind of echoing the you're basically providing confidence in the statements that Effie is making. And it's
Puff in
kind
the
of
chest, yeah.
it's kind of relaying the message, so to speak. Puff in the chest, yes. And then I heard, D-Beck, did you say that you're going to be using a grenade? You're going to pull out a grenade?
Sure. Just kind of.
I mean, you did say that. Am I wrong? Maybe it was it somebody else?
I said it jokingly.
Oh, well, it's up to you. It's up to you. I want to accommodate your desires. How are we doing this one? Grenade, no grenade?
No grenade.
No grenade. Okay. So we have the message being delivered by two very confident and outspoken individuals. There are little gasps heard from most of the people in the elevator. Oh my goodness. Oh, you don't think that this has something to do with the riots? A lot of murmuring and quick scuttling to go off. Well, I'm sure the other three lifts are fine. I heard great things about people concerned about this on top of the other matters affecting the actual shipments. All except, of course, the gaggle of tech priests who were reviewing the data pad. They're concerned because you said that this lift is broken. And they're worried that one of the lessers of their order may make matters worse. This is part of the hive's original construction. This elevator was made with the hands of tech priests from the Golden Age. They're going to check your work. And so, there are 3 tech priests who stay. They come over and begin a data link with Cece.
Cece's like in the middle of like checking things and just feels them link up. She's like, huh! And in, cause I have secret tongue tech, and she's like, hi, can I help you? And then she finally turns around and goes, oh, hello!
And you are effectively without words, given the impression that they need to step in and if not do the work for you, make sure that your work is accurate, because this can't
Stacey,
be fucked
convince
with.
them to help us.
Just immediate hackles raised. So he's like, okay, well, I do appreciate the encouragement. And I say all additional assistance is certainly welcome. As a representative of the oddities from floor 1, we are on a specific task, and if I should in some way, shape, or form need the additional assistance, I will be sure to make that known. Thank you. And
One of them is listening to, the other two are chirping to themselves, and you're flooded with the impression that everything is fine and that you did an incredible job. There seem to be no issues. Whatever was wrong, you fixed marvelously.
okay, Cece does get a slightly bigger head about it.
And they...
Because she's a baby tech priest. She's just fucking it up and doing very well.
Well, and these individuals are like, damn, there's nothing wrong. So it was probably just user error and somebody was an idiot and thought there was something wrong when there wasn't, and they asked this tech priest who plugged in, and that gave everyone the confidence that something was being done. You kind of hear this back and forth chatter, and they leave. And
no,
there's the
you see
Omnissiah.
immediately. It's like, no, I did it, me, no.
Oh, you're just taking it. Okay, yeah, okay. And
well,
they're
she
gonna,
did. Like,
well, they're going to
like,
ask for a full detailed report on what you've done and what you've learned about the system, because not a lot is actually known, because it's quite a process to even touch one of these things on the inside. You've been pulling panels off. You're more intimately acquainted than most.
She's been elbow deep in this for like the last number of hours.
Borderline horrifically so, yeah. There wasn't a bit of sage in the elevator. No one was lighting incense. How is it
And that
possible
is
you
for
were able
our
to speak
buddy
down to say?
side.
Huh?
I think.
I was just saying that's for our
there's-
buddies coming through.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think
No
Cece
stage.
is very much like Cece is a baby tech priest. She appreciates the ceremony attached to like being a tech priest, and obviously the light of the Omnissiah shines upon us all.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Oh, of course.
But at the same time, she's not at the place yet where she's just like, it's a community. We're all She's like, I did this me, and without going into like what, because you can't. Basically, she's explaining, I go through the system and the skeleton keys and the ways in which the doors influence how it closes and all that jazz.
I want to point out, every time you say that you do something, one of the tech priests who is your senior says, through the Omnissiah. Through the Omnissiah. Just adding that to everything that you're saying, just because they're emphasizing the point that you did it working through the Omnissiah. Or the Omnissiah working through you. You were able to do that.
As she is speaking, everyone, I guess because this is secret tongue, so they're just like
it's kind
chattering
of
back and forth in their
chittering.
faces.
Yeah.
You just watch Cece's body sort of like stiffen, and she's just petting Muffin more and more. Like,
Some comforting
Yes,
motions.
yep.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Omnissiah be praised, yes, and through the Omnissiah, blah 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 blah.
They nod. One of them lights some sage, leaves it on the lift, and then they walk out. And then you're just like, okay. So they go. You now have the elevator, the lift to yourself. Southeast is all yours.
As soon as the doors close, Cece goes, "Tech priests fucking suck. I love them, but they suck."
Yep, praise the Omnimissia.
How dare you, Omnissiah, get it together. Don't be awful and heretical or something. Ugh.
Okay. So, the descent at your leisure. And also with very specific commands, I imagine.
Cece is putting in the very specific commands while still talking. And be like, and honestly, I understand we're like one team, but sometimes one person did the work. It's
There's
not
a-
a group project if I did all the things.
A shuddering. And just to make sure I'm understanding, are you doing anything outside of the ordinary here? And I'm assuming also, as you descend, you're going to keep the outer doors of the elevator lift shut. Is that right?
That is the thing I wanted to specify. Yes, I didn't want them to like have a whirlpool, then no whirlpool, then hey baby, here's another whirlpool.
Right. Very distressing. So you
But that
begin
was the
going
only
down.
thing I can immediately think of is making sure the whirlpool stays off.
Got it. So you go down. There is again the last as the doors close. There is a gentle sealing of the natural sunlight. It goes away. The emergency lighting on the inside of the shaft covers everything in a thick red blanket. You are descending. As you descend, you can hear explosions and bullhorns and sirens outside of the door as you pass 3. It is an active war zone. Anyone getting off?
No,
Eh.
definitely not.
Man, that sounds like fun.
Getting off the
All right.
elevator? No.
Yep. Okay.
So my answer is no, but I have a clarifying question.
Sure.
I know then when we were doing when one group, the past group, no, the future group. Never mind. I was gonna say there was shenanigans, but that's the future. We're the past, so it doesn't matter, or it's not a thing that's happened yet. I don't know.
Hasn't happened yet.
But just to specify, the schism, the line of demarcation between the Mechanicum and like the Arbites, isn't a thing yet.
Well, here's the thing. You don't really know. There isn't a difference that you're aware of as a character. However, there is at all points, 600 years in the past and in the present, an odd relationship between the Omnissiah, who basically are above everybody who isn't a standing military officer. And that balance of power seems to be somewhat shifted in your hive for some reason. Also of note, for anybody who is actually a big 40k fan, the Ecclesiarchy's presence is almost none. There are different little congregations, there are clerics, there are different sermons that are held publicly. But the church doesn't have the grip on the people that it does elsewhere. It's kind of odd, but not to you because you don't know.
Cool. I think CC does like, because I want to make some sort of record for people to have in case this shit happens again, but I also don't want it to be like exclusive to the Arbites. I'll think about it. Doesn't matter. We'll get to it later.
All right. Well, and Zuri, you're taking consistent notes, right?
Yes, just if I'm not saying anything, I'm writing the things down.
Okay. And so you've documented everything thus far, or are you kind of like tearing pages out and starting because now it's starting for real?
No, I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. All right. So you're writing an accurate account of everything that's happening. You're continuing.
Zuri wants to do right things. She
Very
wants to
good.
do the right thing by writing the things.
Good. Okay. So you're going, and you pass 3, and you can hear that these doors have an enormous pressure on them. You can hear the groaning of metal, and you can see water just seeping through the cracks at each of the sides. And it's not buckling. You don't hear any major weaknesses, but you occasionally hear the kung of something heavy smashing into the large doors, but nothing unsettling. But you continue to descend. You feel a shudder as the docking mechanism on 4 grabs the elevator, and you see that the elevator's automatic functions begin to try and open the outer doors for you. But as soon as you hear the mechanism start, the motors and the doors start, they sense an odd pressure, and the red emergency light flashes a couple times and then goes back to its strong red blanket of light. You get warning signs that populate every monitor on the lift. Basically just telling you that there's
what do
an
these
issue.
mean?
It means that you can read it. It's telling you that they caution against opening the outer doors. There seems to be an uneven pressure.
Are we underwater?
Probably.
Can we
Wait, this is the
teleport
docking.
underwater?
Oh, right. This is the docking station of 4.
You're
Copy.
on the
Wait,
ground
what?
floor of 4. You have the key. You can go lower.
Cece already has her rebreather on and just looks at everyone else and taps hers.
We all.
I put
We all
mine
do.
on.
Okay. So, everybody in their hover vehicle with their ice chest in tow with Effie in it, you hit that key, and then the lights flash a couple of times, and it's like, are you sure? You hit the acknowledgement that yes, you wish to descend below the lowest floor of the hive, and you now enter the negatives. And the screens effectively say stand by, because they don't actually have readings for your current movement. They just say stand by, and you can feel, just because you're human, you can feel the movement as you begin to descend. You descend and you descend until you feel another clamp. Things lock in place, and the doors automatically open. Now, this is a feature you can turn off if you wish to, but they are set right now to automatically open when you hit the docking system of one of the floors. So, they open up. Give me a perception check, please.
$94.
74.
Oh,
Oh.
I was excited.
63?
It's like, oh no.
81.
Who actually succeeded?
I did. I got a 28 with CC. So that's 3 degrees of success because I have heightened senses.
Okay. So, you can see that the corridor expands quite a bit. It expands in the cardinal directions of the lift, and so right here, even though this is facing one direction, it's going to be in all 4 ways. So, you see it moving out to the east, but it is what appears to be some of the earliest subterranean digs that were made for the organic material like oil, like coal, by your ancestors. They went into limestone, they found veins, and they used all kinds of non-heat related tools like large diggers, like these big, they have like the spinning blades on them. It almost looks like an eel's mouth, and they just kind of chew through the rock until they get to the deposit, and they're able to manually extract it. Due to the volatile nature of things like coal and petroleums, you can't use a lot of the laser digging that they use on most planets because it would ignite it and cause terrible fires that don't end. So,
Right.
they actually have to descend and dig a little more manually. And it looks as though they pulled just about everything out here, but you can see that there are a lot of broken drills. This was very, very early. You can't see a lot, but you don't see a lot of interest. There's a lot of kelp. There's a lot of debris from floor 4. You see signs, you see hover vehicles. It's a large chasm, and it kind of goes into the black in every direction. Most of you can't see anything, but what CC sees is just kind of red lighting that dots the top and old digging mechanisms and tools that have been kind of brushed away by the current. You also see bodies, kelp, things that came from floor 4 in the whirlpool, but the torrent was strong enough not a lot was deposited here.
Yikes.
Yes. Yikes indeed.
Is there a move?
CC. I need to check the wording on Limb in charge. One moment. Y'all can figure out what you want to do.
Anyone want to give me a better perception check to try and correct their 80s or 90s?
Yes.
No,
Definitely.
I got a 61.
Hell yeah.
I got a 12.
You got a 12?
Yeah.
All right. So, what we're going to do, so, Zuri, you're going to be, are you choosing to get off the lift or not? Because you're on a vehicle with everyone, you can step off and walk. It's traversable, if not gross, right now.
Right. We are underwater, right? That is the case.
There
Or no?
is, you're effectively under sea level. You're underground, but there's no water above you because the actual shaft you have here is sealed off. There is water
Gotcha.
about this high on floor 4, and so there is a great deal of water over you, but you are sealed, and in this shaft you are not underwater.
Yeah, then I step off.
Okay, so you step off, you're on the ground, you're rolling around in the mud, I imagine, playing with the kelp like they do at the gyms when they're doing the shoulder back workout, doing a lot of fun stuff probably. And you also notice pipes. Big pipes. About 3 times as tall as an adult, just average height. And they're huge. They run along the ceiling and they feed up and then move into the walls. And they go down.
Can I reach them?
You can't reach them, but if you continue to walk, you'll see that there are several, not quite as big, smaller pipes that run along the ground and feed down.
Okay. I make a note of this, of course. And then I'd like to approach one of them of at least, middling to large size and sort of like knock on it to see if I can tell if it's hollow or full of something, like solid.
Okay. You can tell that one of these pipes, the one you knock on, and it's because I rolled a 4 for you just now, for your luck,
Wondrous.
was not the one that's full of boiling water. So it would have
Yay.
severely hurt you. But you can tell, the longer you look at this, that some pipes seem to have rushing water, and it feels, and just from the size, you can get a good sound of it, like water's being pumped up from somewhere below, and you can almost hear it being pumped from further down the drill site, being pumped up toward the pipes in the ceiling. And you can also feel the heat from several meters away being pumped up from somewhere below. You're not sure. There's hot water being pumped up from the ground.
Okay.
And it's
I
like
make a
boiling.
note. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I make a note of that, and then I turn around and tell the party just that.
And the third set of pipes, which I'm assuming you also relay, do appear to be hollow. There are some that are hollow, some that are cold water being pumped, some that is hot water being pumped.
Okay, so either there is nothing in the pipes, or there is water in the pipes, and it is being pumped up.
Correct.
Okay, cool. And the shaft continues. So I turn around and I address the crowd. Anybody else coming?
Yeah.
See, like, it's dark down there, right? We have our flashlights and stuff,
Flashlights?
don't we?
Yeah.
You do. You also have your hover vehicle, and there are terminals that kind of dot this kind of boarding area.
Can we turn the generator on while it's on the floaty ice chest and
Yeah.
then point a light out?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Look, I brought this generator and these huge lights and this floating ice chest. So
Effie's literally
let's
right
put
there.
them
You can just
together.
ask him to do it.
Effie, turn on the lights, please.
I turn on the lights.
Ah, my eyes didn't tell me not to look at it. Oh,
How many were there?
There are 4.
All right.
4. There are 4 lights.
Go ahead. Anybody?
Let's keep going. Let's
No? Nigel, no?
I was waiting. I was waiting.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to say it. Okay, anyway, go ahead. Please. It's a next
I
generation.
turn on the light, right?
Okay, you turn on the lights. Great. Okay, so
Can
lights
I
are
see
on.
better now if I re-roll my perception?
Sure.
Oh shit! I dropped my dice. What? Floor dice. Floor
Oh,
dice.
don't do that.
7. Floor dice says it's a 7.
Flat 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You can
Take
see that a lot of the scraping, dragging marks along the walls are likely from the destroyed drill bits that you see on the ground, where there are heavy tread marks, where vehicles must have had their bits replaced when they moved on to continue tunneling. The ceiling is dotted with red lights that appear to be in some kind of an energy-saving mode. There are very crude wiring and fixtures up along the ceiling, a great, almost like a scaffolding or a catwalk that was arranged to provide basic maintenance and installation, but it doesn't appear to be anything of real note or technological interest, except again for the docking platform that you're exiting, where there are several terminals. And again, a couple broken rigs. You see that there are large strains of the kelp that have been severed by your lift, actually. But judging by the size of the stalks, they were probably 40, maybe 50 meters long when they came up from wherever it was they came from. Outside of the hive, probably.
Free kill.
The terminals.
That was, thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the terminals with my tech use.
I was gonna ask if these are like just plugs that people can
43.
plug things into, or are they like full access points with data pads and shenaniganry attached?
Oh, it's full access. It's full access.
I wanna access it.
I got a 43 to look at the terminals.
43. Anybody else gonna give it a shot?
It's me. CC's gonna do it.
I got a 35.
35?
That is a 36.
Oh yeah. Anyone else? Okay.
I don't have
So-
anything better to add, so.
Well, that's all right. You can just keep rolling
Yeah.
perception. Just kind of look around. Keep fumbling around.
Yeah.
And our three people giving a roll at the tech. Effie and CC did the best. So what we're seeing here through your combined efforts, and you're able to kind of share information and inform your continued search in the records. There are detailed records that are somehow still holding up. This is a truly ancient machine. It is very dim. There are controls to turn the energy saving mode off on the specific shaft that you're in. There are summoning mechanisms for some of the cart systems that was laid down. It's effectively a tram that was started, but it doesn't look as though it was finished, because as you keep reading, you find out that shaft 1 was abandoned. Not because of anything fun, it's just that the rock was still... It wasn't of the right density for the tools being used, and they needed a new approach. The mechanisms that they were using did not meet the actual geological structure of this sediment. So it was actually abandoned and was flagged for continued excavation at a later time, but there are no entries that suggest that ever happened.
Well, this is like super neat. Is there any way for me to like plug my data pad in and just collect this info and send it to each other so we can have a copy?
Unfortunately, no. The reason is because your data pad, while you can interact with it, it's through some finagling. You're not able to extract any of the information here because 10,000 years is a long time for data transference to match up correctly.
Well, maybe Zuri should come
Copy.
over and write it down.
I have copyist, but I forget how long it takes to copy stuff over.
You can do it. Not you specifically, but if Zuri wants to document anything, it's absolutely free and no extra time needs to be taken because it was assigned.
I'm happy to copy down anything. Just let me know.
Okay.
Is there any maps? Because you said shaft 1, or where are the other shafts?
Unfortunately, this terminal doesn't have that information.
Dang.
So I take it to mean that we're in shaft 1 then?
Yes. This is also, yes. You can actually see large, not signs, so to speak, but surfaces near the lift where you can see one has been etched in. Fancy. It's not just like somebody took a pocket knife. It's been engraved.
So just to clarify, the like energy that the hive generates is like geothermal, right? We get it from the steams.
Correct.
Cool. CC turns the lights on.
Okay. You can see that.
I didn't want to like shut a section of the hive down.
Oh, no.
Right.
So you see that the red lights that dot the ceiling kind of flicker and shut off. They actually haven't been adjusted in a long time. And flickering, and then in a low light, growing to a brighter light over about the course of a minute. You can see lights that extend quite a ways. Not out of sight, but probably not more than 2 or 3 kilometers. It's almost dizzying to look that far, but it reaches a point.
Also, there's like totally information in here about a cart.
And
like
it doesn't seem to be...
transport?
It doesn't ever actually... There are no logs of it actually having been used. It seems as though they started to lay the track for it and never set it up.
I relate that.
Is there any like signs of like wildlife?
Nothing like an animal or anything alive except for the kelp that's been flung into this passage by the whirlpool. There are also a couple bodies, but that's not life.
Can I have Muffin do a sniff for just in cases?
Sure. Give me a sniff for just in cases.
Mostly, we're specifically looking for anything that could be surprise, kills you. Gases, any sort of like airborne toxins, yarder. Like the kelp is here. I don't just want to make sure all of us turning on these lights and stuff isn't going to cause like a fire or anything.
Sure.
But just in case you sniff for Muffin, you're doing so well. You're doing amazing, sweetie. 26. I believe it's on the Cyber Mastiffs. It's a plus 20.
But you're also having everything halved on Muffin.
Yeah, but even still halved, I think they start with a 30. So plus halved is 15, plus 20 is a 35, and he got a 26, so he still got it.
All right. Muffin notices that the kelp, which you don't ever see as having actually grown this long, you know personally that the kelp grows all over the planet you live on, that your hive is stationed on. You're taught that from a very young age. But it never really gets up over 20 meters at the most. You've never actually seen the roots of the kelp. It's believed that it goes all the way down to the planet's surface where you actually have the floor of the ocean around you, but you can see that the kelp, the thicker the stalk, presumably the further down it was, doesn't actually hold that rich green color that you're used to. And Muffin notices that the oil that everybody uses, and it's your primary export as a lubricant and as a fuel source, it's what a lot of people boil the water that gives the power on the upper floors for. It's the most valuable commodity your hive exports. Use it in everything. It's in lotions, soap. You can go on. It appears that there are little tiny pods that grow closer to the base. And she's detecting that they're quite toxic.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
That's kind of that. That's the most dangerous thing that you see.
Don't lick them, and we got our rebreathers on.
Well, the second part of that equation is, does that mean that the lube that we've been putting on and in everything at a certain dosage is toxic? Do we know that it's...
Have her sniff some of the others. There's enough kelp around, you could have her smell some of the larger, full orbs.
Yeah, sniff away, Muffin. You don't have real lungs. Oh, wait.
True. Neither do you.
Sort of. Second sniff to even better. Go, Muffin. That's an 8.
Totally harmless.
Okay.
So as it matures, this very, very, very toxic oil that's secreted kind of changes somehow. Could be something, could be not, could just be the way this plant grows. This appears to be an enormous base. Again, it doesn't have that same green coloring. It's almost clear down at the base. So
basically, as it matures, aka goes up the plant, it becomes less toxic than it is at the base of the plant.
it seems that way.
Okay.
Okay. I also write that down.
And
Okay.
I'm going to avoid that sort of area.
All right. Sounds good. Anybody else
I
doing
wanna
anything
take
fun
some.
here?
I want to take some so bad. I'm not going to take some, but I want to take some.
Do we see that?
You can.
Have we come to like the end of the shaft, or does it go further down?
Oh, you're not at the end.
Okay.
You mean forward or down?
I mean forward, as in like, can we continue
You can continue.
moving away from the elevator or the lift?
Let's give me one more perception check, everybody, and please let's get a anybody who passes 2 degrees of success. Let me know.
4.
Ooh.
20.
11.
I just had to throw my
32.
dice
But
on
what
the
is my
floor.
perception? That is exactly 2 degrees of success.
Okay. And do it. How'd you do?
72. Not worth mentioning.
Hell yeah. What's your highest stat, do
4
it?
degrees of success.
Toughness with a 43.
So jacked.
Okay.
True.
Well, let's see. You rolled a 4, so you and D-Beck are at the highest with an 11, right? You had 11.
Yes.
What is your actual perception?
34.
Okay, so you had 3 degrees of success. Good. And okay, great. So you guys are able to see that there are actually crates of tools that are left here. It doesn't seem to be anything remarkable. There's nothing inside of a, do not touch, super important, save it just for the God Emperor type of thing. It's a mine shaft. But as you kind of fiddle through all of the little fun things, your characters are able to find 4 items in total. There is a device that seems to be extremely tasking in power, but the data pad of instructions that you found with it suggests that it can emit a short burst of what is effectively sonar. It's able to detect into the ground for different, you kind of like shove it into the ground and you can use it to read the sediment value, different percentages of ore. It's a basic geological testing tool, but it's one that has a data pad and effectively a spike. You find one of those. You find that there are 2 sets of high-powered, again, golden age of mankind, infrared goggles. It's kind of a headpiece. These are extremely effective. They will add a plus 20 to your perception for vision in the dark.
Cool.
Again, 2 of those.
Ooh.
And you also find that there are the 4th item is a bag of seismic charges. These aren't explosive, because explosive would be bad in a petroleum scenario, but there is a small satchel of 6 seismic charges. They can be wired for detonation manually, they can be set on a timer, and they effectively can stick to surfaces like C4.
Okay. What does a seismic charge do? Rumble the ground?
It's like an explosive, but it doesn't use explosions. It uses
Ignition?
sound. It uses
Okay.
a large, fast pulse, series of pulses of sound to shake everything apart.
Okay. Cool. And we had one sonar thing.
Correct. It's a geological tool for testing sediment. And again, it has like a spike and effectively it's kind of like a data pad with like an E-pen or something, some kind of like a techno pencil, like a Samsung Note or something with a sleeve in it where you could take it out. You guys remember those old little like note-taking tools that were like the first touchscreen things publicly available and everyone wanted one, but they work like shit? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Point is, those things, it basically has like a needle that is effectively Bluetooth to it specifically, and you can poke it into the earth or into a wall, and you can test sediment values and get a basic idea of what's in the rock.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, and to answer your question, I'm sorry. You can walk to what is basically the end. You can see that there is there are 2 large digging. These are actually land-based. They have treads on them. Think of them kind of like tractors. And they appear to be affixed to the wall. And they're not going anywhere, and they haven't moved in a long time.
Okay. I do also sketch a little map of the shaft thus far, or I mean, in its totality.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right. So we have here, anyone doing anything with the rigs? Anyone?
So you said that I saw something in the what you
Oh,
affectionately called the ice chest.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Do you want
Perhaps
to?
I should.
By all means.
Yeah, I sure do. I want to find out what that is.
Okay. So you rolled to see it. Let's see how good it is. Give me a luck check. Is it just a D100?
30.
30. Okay. So as you kind of root around and you're moving the lights, being sure not to topple over one of the 4 lights, you're able to find that there is it's like a little handle, and as you pull it out, this is it's a little pistol kind of a thing. It's nothing cool, but it does look very, very ornate. It does appear to be loaded. Do you have, let me get an intelligence check from you. Can I get an intelligence check, please?
I got a 14.
14. Hell yeah. So you know, just because you've heard rumors, and you are from floor 1, so you see a lot of traffic in and out. You've seen reports in your official Arbites training that you know that contraband weapons like needle pistols are sometimes found and sometimes lost after it gets into the custody of officers of the Arbites or whoever apprehends the person and confiscates it. You recognize that this is a needle pistol, and it has 24 rounds. It is an exotic weapon. So if you have exotic weapon training, this is something that would allow you to use it very, very well. Because I don't know how familiar you are with this, this is an extremely dangerous weapon. This is an extremely dangerous weapon.
Okay,
And,
I'm going to let everyone know what I found. Because I don't have exotic training.
It just means that if you're firing it, you'll just take a little bit of a hit, by the way, just so you know. You can still do it. It's just that you suffer a...
Well, still, I'll let everyone know because
Okay.
I'm kind of armed to the teeth myself.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, we have that information in hand. Does the group have any other queries or questions?
I want to take a look at the digging machines to see if they still work.
Okay. Give me a tech test, please.
46. My intelligence is like 30.
The answer is no.
Okay.
And it doesn't look as though the engine itself has a problem. It looks as though these are deeply embedded in stone. And so they work, but they don't go anywhere.
Okay.
And it seemed at the time, just using context clues, it was just less effort to
Leave
go
them.
somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, this is, again, there's not like a resource scenario. Like, you're after the stuff that's in the rock. You don't care about anything else. If you're the people who are here.
Okay. Well, I guess Nyla's done down here for now.
Okay.
Who's taking the infrared goggles?
You did only find 2. And it was D-Beck and Sarah who found them, so you're welcome to keep them to yourself.
I'm keeping mine for myself.
Nyla has a 40 perception, so if she did add the 20, that would put her at a 60 in the dark, which would be useful.
That's
I
super
also-
dope.
Pretty good.
I do want to
She's gonna
add
keep it.
that these are really high tech. If somebody turns the lights on when you have these on, it won't blind you.
Okay, nice. They'll adjust.
If you find
Excellent.
infrared goggles now and you use them, that's not the case. But these are old.
So what you're saying is they don't make them like they used to.
That's unfortunately the case here.
Okay. Yeah, Nyla's gonna keep them for the moment.
Okay. All right. So.
Cool.
Okay. And then you have the little
you
satchel with the
have-
seismic charges, and then you have the geological device. Keep in mind, we also have 2 servo skulls following you guys around still. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Cece was
matter.
gonna mention them before, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
You also have your 5 lackeys.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they were there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we had 6.
Cece.
What happened to the last one?
You got lost.
We had 5.
I thought we had 5.
Oh well, Effie
There are
can't
6
count.
of us.
Okay. If you guys had 6, like if I said 6, one of them just kind of wandered off. He's not so smart.
It's probably
He got
for
lost.
the best.
Yeah.
PDF
He's on
could
floor
probably
3
put
right
it
now
better.
helping out.
Ah.
Like, where'd you come from? And he's like,
He's like, I don't think I've always been here. I said, fine.
okay.
He's like, all right. Well, join the lines.
So do we go back up?
Onward.
You can go back up,
Yeah.
sure. If you wanted
Does
to.
it go further
Well,
down?
Oh, no.
Well, we haven't actually answered the question of like what's going on.
Well, I mean,
We need to go to floor 4, or yeah, we need to go back up, but like not to where like the water is, but like, you know,
Above
I mean-
the
a little
water.
bit higher so we can use this
yeah.
raft.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So just to make sure
We
I'm
pile
understanding,
back
you guys
in.
are going back to the lift, and you're going up to floor 4, where the doors can't really open as they are now because the outside doors are closed, and if you open them, it's going to cause a whirlpool bringing people down.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to do that without the whirlpool.
Oh. Don't think that's going to be a possibility.
I was like, I don't think we can.
I don't think that's a
Yeah.
thing.
But we do know that even with the no whirlpool, the water is still draining out. So it's just
It's true.
gonna take a sec.
It would take a long time. And with the hole in the center of the hive missing, it's going to take way longer. There are pumping mechanisms that kind of pull water off effectively the floor of the hive through the sewer system. But that's going to be really, really gummed up, and it's going to take an extremely long time through the natural process.
You said one of the pipes was hollow, right?
One of the pipes, that's right. Yeah, you guys have if you look at this map here, there is a hot pipe, there is a cold pipe, and there's actually a pipe not listed simply for simplicity that runs along the same pathways that is hollow.
Can we fit in it?
You could fit in it.
Is there an opening?
There are effectively manhole ports every 100 yards. It's about every 100 meters, probably. Every 100 meters.
Let's
Okay.
send in
Each
one
of
of the
them.
goons.
Let's open one up, and maybe can we send a servo skull?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, let's just send a servo skull in, not a person.
Yeah.
The guy will be fine, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Servo
can't
skulls are
send a
useful.
stew?
Wacky number 1.
What was that, D-Back?
How dare you? That
We
one's
can't
name is
Send
Charles.
one of the stooges. I
You
mean,
could. It's up to you.
That one's name is Franklin. Did you not introduce yourselves to our coworker?
Hank, Davy, Gerald. Got it.
So, Hank, Davy, Gerald, Stewart.
No,
And,
Charles and
Franklin?
Franklin.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird. I know the goons' names, but not your names.
Yeah, have you
I
guys
don't think
actually
we ever
introduced
Anyway,
yourselves?
that's fine.
And then so
Cece
it's-
introduced
Right.
herself.
Have we not introduced ourselves to all of each other yet?
I don't think we have
Well, I
yet,
thought it was established that we already knew each other.
You guys had
Because we work
met.
together, right?
but there wasn't a lot of like interaction. There are several hundred Arbites on floor 1, and you're all the newest, but you've been kind of separated as 2 groups.
I'd like to think we all introduced ourselves when we were stuck in the elevator.
Yeah,
guess you had
would
the
I would
time.
like to think that as well.
You had the time, yeah.
Retroactively, let's say that happened.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I was just operating under the assumption that CC already knew the ladies. So
Oh,
True.
yeah,
If
and,
any-
True.
and that is, yeah. I mean, especially you know Sarah's character.
one being my whole ass cousin.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
cousins. So Nyla and Cece are actually related. So that's, I mean, you guys know each other, of course. But and then of course D-Beck Sarah and Polaris characters know each other. But I want to make sure I have the names character. We have Hank, Davey, Gerald, Frank, and then the gentleman is Stewart. Is that right? Stu?
Charles.
Charles?
Charles.
Charles.
All right, that's what the names are. And by the way, that wasn't their actual names. It's just that you guys just kind of went like this, and they were like, and that's now they'll answer to those names.
Good for them.
Even
Good.
worse.
Good.
Even worse, actually.
I'm sure they thought that these are names handed to them by the Arbites
Rule of
as
Fellowship.
They're
particular
code
code
names.
names.
Rule of Fellowship.
So
They're
I'm sure.
Are we
Sure.
all rolling fellowship?
Nope.
45, but my fellowship is a 40.
They believe since these are outdated terms by 40,000 years, they are like, okay, nice. Code names, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's effectively like if one of us was named like Fananigan Muffin, you'd be like, oh, all right. Code name Fananigan Muffin, nice.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, okay, that means nothing to me, but copy that. This is the same thing as being named Frank. So they're okay with it. They're down.
Good.
Okay.
That's good.
Theoretically, right. If we have a
Happy
pump
for them.
system that already works and we have a whole bunch of random crap down here, couldn't we try and find another pump system? If they have an unfinished track, do we maybe have some extra pumps we're not using?
The unfinished track is strictly for this series of shafts, because remember there's one in each cardinal direction, but it seems as though work was started in every direction and ended about the same time as they chose to move to a different location. The actual track was meant to effectively ferry resources and the different goods that might come out to the lift for surface retrieval. And the servo skull has a ping for you.
Oh.
I answer the ping.
Effectively, in binary, it is relayed to you that there are several meters and contact points that suggest this is for slurry extraction. They go to large off-site pumps which go to the ocean outside of the hive, potentially kilometers away from the base of the hive. But this pipe system that's empty seems to be for removing slurry. As water is pumped in, it is combined with the rock for easier extraction. These hollow pipes were for removing that slurry.
But just to clarify, the pumps are no longer in use, so these are effectively pipes straight into the ocean.
Correct, but the valves that keep the ocean from entering the pipes are sealed.
Okay.
Because they're not pumping
CC
anything out.
relays that information.
Okay. All being documented.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they were
definitely.
for slurry.
Okay.
What?
Wild.
I wonder if there's any way to use these to pump out the water.
I
Or
get
is that-
slurry after I go to the bar. Is that the same thing?
Oh,
Yes.
no, that was actually
Yes,
funny.
it is.
That is super close. Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay, go about your business.
So, if it was used for slurry and it was pumping it functionally out of the ocean through the
Into
hive,
the ocean.
where was it?
Out.
Into the ocean.
Yes.
Other way around. Copy. I understand. I was like, how?
All
But
right.
these pipes do go throughout the hive like the rest of the pipes do, correct?
These don't appear to go to the hive. These appear to go to
Shafts.
different
The shaft.
locations. In fact, it whoopsies. As you see, the servo skull actually meets up with an off-site pump. That's really awesome. Would you please? It actually meets with an off-site pump that goes to a series of pumps that leads the slurry to the ocean.
So there's
So can
multiple
we use
pumps.
the pumps to pump out floor 4?
These pipes do not connect to the hive.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
But theoretically, the shafts themselves may not be connected to each other, but the pipes are. Am I understanding
Correct.
that correctly?
Yep,
So-
these were fed into the rock, into embedded pump systems for basically range. There's and your servo skull is able to provide a network of these tubes. And so if you take a look at the map here, you're seeing that your
Sorry, give me your notebook.
little
I hand it over.
CC.
shaft here, you can see they actually feed to a large pump, which then feeds to the ocean.
Yeah,
Well,
so I just flip like functionally to like a clean page, and I'm like, okay, so we're in this shaft here, and there's all these pipes that are connecting all these shafts. And CC just like, when she draws, it's like an inkjet printer of just like,
Two
Okay.
hands stippling, you know.
Okay. So you're documenting all
that's what
that.
we're dealing with right now.
Okay.
Marvelous.
So theoretically, while we could use the elevator, while we could use the great lift to go between the different shafts, if for some reason we can't, and we really felt like walking, or climbing, or crawling, or scuttling, then we could maybe go through the pumps. If I'm
They're
understanding
pretty
right.
big these are the ones these are the largest among them. So you can fit several people wide in them. Maybe 6 if you were shoulder to shoulder.
Because theoretically, since they're not being used to pump into the ocean, that means they're empty.
Yep.
And we could walk with them.
Because it was used for pulling out sludge. Have you ever seen like mining done here on Earth in real time? You see that they actually feed water into the drilling site. It mixes with all the mud and stone that's being churned up by the drill, and there's a separate pump which pulls it all out. And this is a similar method where the cold water you've experienced is a 2-directional pumping mechanism that allows water to be pumped down or pumped back up. And you are currently feeling / hearing / from readings you're going to find a slurry. Yep, and we've been calling it a slurry even. Incredible. It's like I did a weird amount of research into this, but it doesn't matter. The point is, we have here water that's coming up from somewhere that's cold, and water that's coming up that's super, super hot, and you have empty tubes that seem to be used for this slurry extraction.
So theoretically, if we try to go back to 4, it's kind of underwater, at least the part that the lift would be able to get to, and that's going to take forever to drain. So do we want to go further down?
If we can, that might be an
I
option.
believe we can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Well, the question is, have we explored everything we want to explore in this here hole?
I imagine so, at least at this point, because we went to the end of that hole.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's check out another hole.
I love hole. Also, this is fun. Like, this is so neat. I don't know that anybody has, like, an actual record of all of the shenaniganry.
Probably not anymore.
If nothing else, someone will really like to read this.
Oh, yeah.
If nothing
For sure.
else, it gives me an opportunity to use my new pens.
Perfect.
Relatable.
All right. So, everybody back on the hover vehicle with the ice chest in tow. Effie getting back in the ice chest area?
Yeah, it's much more comfortable.
Okay.
Also, Effie found that sick-ass gun. Effie, that's a sick-ass gun.
Yeah.
I know.
Who has the best weapon skill among you guys? Or ballistic skill, I mean.
Ballistics. Probably.
Ballistics.
I've got a
Mine is-
38.
Yeah,
You
mine
at
is
38?
28.
I have a
Nyla's is a
36.
40.
Do it. How you doing?
Mine is 36.
I don't know how all of y'all's stats are so high. I have a 33, but I took an advance in it.
Well, 33.
It's
Okay.
because I did a little bit of shuffling, so like
It's called
my
hemorrhaging your other
weapon
stats.
skill
Yeah.
is 30, and my intelligence is 30, and my strength and toughness are also 30. So like she's
gotcha.
average for everything except like her perception, fellowship, and ballistic skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cece's pretty mid for a lot of stuff, except for intelligence, and my strength is also 40. And toughness is pretty high too. But I just literally don't have skills. Like, I've picked up the heightened senses and mimic and stuff, but most of the XP has been spent on advancements.
Yeah,
Super strong and super smart.
I'm all in fellowship because I was gonna be a singer and cleric. So, and then I got shuffled into the Arbites against my will.
Well, I mean, obligations and all that, the rent, etc.
Yeah,
Well, okay. So you guys get back on the lift. I imagine.
It's good to have dreams.
Well,
You're back on the lift and descending.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, as you do, you are just feeling gears, metalwork that hasn't been used in a long time. Again, as the doors closed in sublevel 1, the last of the non-emergency lighting is sealed off. You're once again smothered in thick red light. And the kind of shuddering, not concerning shuddering, but again, old, ungreased pieces moving for the first time in a long time. The lift descends, and as you descend, you feel clicking, 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 thudding as you reach sublevel 2. And because the preset hasn't been augmented, the doors automatically open up, and everybody roll perception.
Maybe I should turn that off, but I also don't want to
27.
try and like call the elevator and have to force the door
23.
like that.
80.
30. Oh wait, my perception's like stupid high. Hold on.
6.
Oh wait, you guys have glasses. Never mind.
6, flat 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it was from Dua?
Nice.
That's right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I didn't hear D-Beck.
He's muted. I
Okay.
think currently.
And then what was yours, Nigel?
Oh, it's 9. Sorry.
Flat 9?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, and then
With
Nigel?
the glasses, what would that be?
Well, if it's dark, it's going to be an absolute win. But let's get everybody's. Nigel, what'd you get?
23.
23. Fire. Okay. So the doors open, and you have advantage. Combat has started. We will be rolling initiative in our next session.
Yee.
Combat with what?
Well, we're gonna
find
have
out next time.
we're gonna have Dewey and Nigel tell you as soon as we start up again in the past.
We never
Glitter
turned
bugs.
those lights off, by the way. So
It's true.
They're just gonna stay on.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll use them.
It's about damn time.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun. I hope it was. I know we had a little bit of confusion with like the layout of the elevator and where the doors were and where the water was. Sorry about that. But everything else seems to be understood at this point. Is that right?
Yeah.
We're
We have an
moving.
entire
so.
crate of grenades.
It's true.
You do have a lot of
I knew
grenades.
those would come in handy.
And I'm
Yeah,
sitting on
see?
this.
In these tunnels where we can't use explosives.
Well, I mean, it's not that you can't. It's that there are.
I mean, we could
repercussions.
trap whatever's trying to come after us, and then
What was that?
We could totally trap the whatever we're in combat in the tunnels with grenades.
That's I'm not going to tell you
Explosive.
what to do. It's up to you to do what you guys are going to do. I'm just here to help move it and help that one. Yeah. I mean, I will fix it, Lindoa. Thank you. I didn't even think about it, Caldwell. You're right. My God. Yeah, I mean,
This has
and
been one hell of a day for us.
yeah, you guys are making progress. So next session is session number 8, and I have this set to end on session 12. So that's where I've set things. Are you guys okay if it ends up being a session longer, or do I need to make absolutely certain we have 5
that's fine
sessions
by
left?
me.
It's got to go forever, or I'm out.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, we could always just, at the ripe age of 164, Dewey
That's right.
settles down with his second wife after the first passed in childbirth. We were all
May she
there on
rest in
session
peace.
612 when he named that child, and how he looks at it
name
fondly,
your
thinking of his
child?
wife.
What'd you name it?
Baxter.
Oh, that's sweet. Almost
Oh no!
as if 600 sessions later, Nigel's
more.
character is actually Dewey's son. Oh.
It
We're
all
the-
comes full
after
circle. That's right.
That would
100
make so
years.
much damn sense, though.
That's right.
I'm not sure how, because it's only 100 years, but it's like, whatever. I mean, it's I will, we'll make that
Magic
happen.
of the
somehow.
wizard hat.
The wizard hat. My God. Okay, so
There
if
you
you
go.
joined us for the stream, thank you, and I'm gonna be shutting the stream down. But everybody in chat, stay with me for just a second, and see you
Don't
guys
forget
next
to
time.
comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
God damn it, D-Vic.
Thank you,
And
D-Beck.
scream into the void.
Yep.
Scream into the void. Way more important.
Oh, I have a website for that.
You do. Voidscreaming.jpg.
It's actually called screamintothevoid.com.
Really? Oh. Oh. Well, shit. Okay. Well, go scream into the